I never saw the cracks forming. Not like that. One moment, I was teasing him for being too emotional. The next, he was closing a suitcase, walking out, as if I were just someone he'd finally outgrown. My name's Emily. I'm 27 now, and if I could rewind my life to change just one moment, it would be the night I stood by someone who never earned my loyalty and turned my back on the one who truly did. It started a few years ago, on an ordinary Sunday morning. I was late for brunch, as always. By the time I showed up, Noah was halfway through his second mimosa. He looked up, grinned, and cracked a joke about how I could make even tardiness look graceful. That was Noah. That had always been his charm. We'd known each other since high school. He'd witnessed every heartbreak, every messy spiral, every reckless chapter. We kissed once or twice, but to me, it never meant anything serious. He was my fallback, my constant. We had this rhythm, sending memes at midnight, leaning on each other. When life got too loud, then came Jacob, quiet but steady, gentle and sure. He wasn't flashy, but he made things feel calm and safe. He was a civil engineer who talked about roadways like they were poetry. We met at a wedding. He spilled red wine on my dress, apologized like he'd ruined something sacred. That awkward laugh turned into dinner, and then into something real, something beautiful. The early months with Jacob were magic. He remembered my coffee orders, brought flowers on boring Tuesdays, and held me when my past threatened to swallow me. He never flinched at my baggage. Even with Noah, he tried to be kind, but Noah pushed boundaries. He called Jacob Mr. Spreadsheet, teased me with lines like, "I'll always be your number one." I'd laugh it off, maybe too easily. Jacob stayed calm, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. He once asked quietly, "Was there ever something real with Noah?" I brushed it off. Of course not. Just friends. But then came the late-night texts, inside jokes, echoes of things we never fully unpacked. I started flipping my phone face down, pretending it was to avoid drama. But I was hiding, and I knew it. Everything started to unravel. The night I lied. Jacob's birthday was near. I said I had to work late, but I was at Noah's apartment. We watched a movie. Nothing physical happened. No kissing, no touching. But he whispered, "I miss us." And something flickered in me. Uncomfortable. Selfish. The next morning, Jacob made pancakes and kissed my forehead. I stood there, drowning in guilt. I wanted to tell him, but I didn't. I convinced myself it wasn't cheating, but it was betrayal. 2 weeks later, Jacob looked at me, eyes full of quiet pain. "I love you," he said, "but I need you to block Noah. Not to control you, but because it feels like I'm sharing you with him. I'm tired of competing in my own relationship." I laughed, mocked it, called him insecure, turned it into a joke. He didn't argue, just nodded, stood up, packed. So calm. That calmness was what terrified me most. I begged, pleaded, yelled, cried. Nothing worked. He wasn't angry. He was finished. Before leaving, he said, "This isn't just about Noah. It's how you treated me when I tried to set a boundary. Like I was weak for caring. But I'm not." Then he walked out. No dramatic exit. No shouting. Just silence. That night, Noah stopped by. I thought he'd make me feel less empty, but he barely looked up from his phone. Didn't ask how I was. Didn't stay. And in that moment, everything clicked. Noah wasn't my safe place. He was a thrill, a distraction. And when there was nothing left to hide, he vanished too. A month passed. No word from Jacob. I wrote him a long email, poured every regret, every truth I never had the courage to say. He never replied. A mutual friend told me he'd moved, started working out, posted smiling selfies with his sister's dog. Meanwhile, I unraveled. I cut ties with Noah, deleted every message, started therapy, faced the version of myself I'd avoided for years. It's been 9 months. I'm dating again. Slowly, carefully, but I still think of Jacob, not because I want him back, but because I now understand the kind of love he gave, the kind that doesn't demand submission, but mutual respect, the kind that isn't afraid to draw boundaries, the kind that leaves when it's no longer safe to stay. I used to think blocking someone was petty. Now I know it's self-preservation. It's choosing peace. Sometimes, real love means walking away when staying would mean losing yourself. Jacob didn't leave because he gave up. He left because he finally chose himself. And that's the kind of strength I strive for.